For the Valor monument, you need to display the exclusive weapons into the monument, and there are 3 of them. Now the first one will be the Destroyer, the second one is the Oppressor, and the third one is the Tormented. Now again, there will be 8 points for the monument for you to max it out, but if you just want 30, again, if you just want 30 or 50 points, what I recommend for you is to get 1 Destroyer, a couple of Oppressors, and that's it. The Tormented one, well, it's probably is a little bit overkill if you just want to have like 30 or 50 points, but if you're aiming for 50 or 50 points, then yes, you would need to get the Tormented one as well. And for the Destroyer, you can get them from converting the materials at the, can't remember the name of the dungeon right now, but hang on, let me just erase this, and the name of the dungeon, I can't remember the name of the dungeon, but the final boss of that dungeon is called Drunkard the Black. And I will include a video after the slide so that you know where to go and get it. For the Oppressor, and also as well as I will include a link down in the description on the material as well, but just to give you an idea, that will cost you, one of the rare materials that you need to get is the Onyx Stone for the Destroyer, by the way. And the Onyx Stone you can obtain it from the final chest of the dungeon in Eye of the North dungeon. And usually they will reward you with a couple of them in the hard mode, and I think that in the normal mode they will reward you with 1 or 2 or something like that. I can't remember because it has been so long since the last time that I did the dungeon in Eye of the North in the normal mode. I usually do it on the hard mode because obviously the reward is better, and also you have the chance to get some of the exclusive weapons skin from the Eye of the North dungeon, and it can worth a lot of money too. And perfect example of that is the dragon bone staff. And if you have the right attribute stat on the staff, it can go up to 1,500 ectoplasms. And as I said earlier in my video, 1 ecto is equal to around 10,000 gold. So if you have the right stat, yeah, not all of them, but if that's, I have to put this, if it's the right this is the key. If it is the right stat, you can sell it for 1,500, some of them, and I will include a link down in the description on where that number is coming from, because you know I play Guild Wars 2 a lot, and I just recently came back to Guild Wars 1, so the price that I gave you just now, 1,500 ectoplasm for the bone dragon staff, is from the Guild Wars Guru. And the Guild Wars Guru is the website, well, not a website, more like a forum. It's a forum that all of the veteran players in Guild Wars 1, they're still playing, and also some of them decided to sell and also price checking, because you know, like in Guild Wars 2, we only, when the mobs drove you the weapon from the chest, I mean, like when the mob drops you weapons, or you get it from the chest, or etc. Usually they have already a fixed stats, but in Guild Wars 1, the stats varies. So one bone dragon staff may be different from another one. That, say for example, if you and me, we do it by ourselves with our heroes in one of the dungeons, and the dungeon that draw for this is called the Shards of Ore. Shards of Ore. And when you complete this dungeon, there will be a chest at the end. So that's why I'm saying final chest at the end. And in the hard mode, the chance for you to get the bone dragon staff is significantly higher than the one in the normal mode. But yes, it still depends on luck. So some people might do it on a normal mode and they might get it. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone that actually got it from the normal mode. But back in the day, maybe, I don't know, because I just recently started. But in the hard mode, I have seen a couple of people in my alliance and in my guild that got the bone dragon staff, and they told me that they sold a few of them for 750 ectoplasms. But the maximum, well, not maximum, but some of them that I have seen that being sold for 1,500 ectoplasm. So yeah, I'll give you the link down in the description on where that figure is coming from, because some of you might say like, whoa, that's kind of hard to believe, why is it so expensive? I'll include the link down in the description on the forum so that you can have a look at it and why a lot of people agree that this is the right price for you to pay for the bone dragon staff. Please keep that in mind, that is a market opinion, the public opinion, not me, because I don't have any say in this. I just taking the figure that was given to me by the experts. That's what I call them, because they've been playing the game for longer than I am. And so I'll include the link down in the description so you can have a look at it and where this figure coming from. But back to the destroyer, the weapon for this category, shall we? For that one, after North Dungeon, you need it would drop you the dungeon. The final chest of the dungeon would drop you some of them for the Onyx Stone, and I think the other one is Crystal. And this one is about, Jesus, I can't remember right now. It's been a couple of months since I last purchased my well, not purchase, but more like crafting the destroyer, because you go into the dungeon, you have the material with you, and when you talk to the NPCs in that dungeon, they will craft you the weapon. And in February, I think I bought them for this one. I bought them for 2 platinums each. This one is about 5. You have to check with the market and see how much the value of this, because I haven't been buying any of the destroyer for ages. You can get them. You can get the material price from the rare material NPC, and this NPCs is all over the places. You can find them everywhere, but the perfect place that I usually go for is the M Park. Yeah, that's the place I usually go for, and there will be, I don't know, about 6 or 7 NPCs. I mean, a rare material NPC that you can find in there. So yeah, there's a lot of them in there, and they have you have the access to go to that at any time. So you just click on the what do you call it, on the map. There will be a boat side, and when you click on the boat side, it will guide you to the M Park, and when you click on the M Park, it will teleport you to that zone, so you can talk to them. Alright, so for the destroyer, yeah, most of the materials came from the final dungeon I mean, like the final came from the final chest of the dungeon in Out of the North, and I usually do it in the hard mode. And I will include a video after this this slide, so you can see where you can get the where you can exchange the material for the destroyer. Now, please keep that in mind that when you display any of these onto the monument, it will be character bound. It will be sold by to that character. Oh, that's all right. It will be sold by to that character. That character is the only one that can use. Yeah, so be very careful. So say for example, if you buy a few of them for, say if you have like for example a ritualist, an assassins, and I don't know, mesmer. Yeah, let's go with that. If you have a ritualist, an assassin, and a mesmer, and say you have a staff for the ritualist, yeah, but then if you display your scepter onto the monument and you want your mesmer to use a scepter, then after being displayed onto the monument, you cannot transfer your scepter into your mesmer. It's bound to the ritualist. So please keep that in mind that if you have multiple characters and if you want them to use the weapon, then you need to have that character to come to the monument and then display it instead of use one character and then display it all in that character, because sometimes you may want to let other characters use a particular weapon. Say for example the dagger, which is primarily used for the assassins, and if you give it to the ritualist, it wouldn't make any sense for the ritualist to use, because the ritualist usually people run for the Signet of Spirit build, which I will cover in a bit later, and usually the ritualists either use the scepter or the staff, or sometimes that in a different kind of build they usually, well, what I usually go for is a spear, and I use a shield to push off my survival. But it's very subjective on what you want to do with your ritualist. So in that regard, I cannot comment on what purpose are you gonna use for your character, because people use it for different purposes. But I would say that if you use if you want your character to use a particular weapon, make sure that when you display your weapon, it has to be that character. So let me give you an example, just easy for understand. For the dagger, I would take my assassin into the Horns of Monument, and I will display the dagger in the Horns of Monument using my assassins. And if I have a staff that I want my ritualist to use, I will use my ritualist to go into the Horn of Monument and then display the staff by using my ritualist and not any other characters. And so that it will bound to my ritualist, and my ritualist is the only one that it is the only character that can use the staff. Now you can transfer it to your heroes. Heroes is not a character. Heroes is exclusive to your to that particular character. So my ritualist will have say Ogden Monk or Rosat Mesmer or you know, Rosa is not a mesmer at first, but he can change his profession. So Rosa, he can have, my ritualist can have Livia, which is a necromancer. My assassin will also have the access to get another Livia. So yeah, you can transfer to your heroes, but not through the character after being displayed. So please keep that in mind. Alright, so that's it for the destroyer. For the oppressor, you need to complete the War in Kryta quest. Now, the War in Kryta quest requires 100% completion of the main story from the prophecy. Yeah, and then after that, you need to talk to the NPC at Lion's Arch. And when you talk to the NPC, he will give you the quest to do the Beyond Guild. Guild Beyond. Yeah, that's what they call. Guild Beyond is the quest that happened after the main storyline. And so for the prophecy campaign, there will be War Kryta. For the faction, it will be the Wind of Change. And for the Art of the North, that will be Wedding's Day. And as many of you know from, well, if you play Guild Wars 2, you would know that there was one of the main characters in the game, NPC, one of the main NPCs in the game, and his name is Logan Thackeray. And the Logan Thackeray bloodline trace back to this wedding quest. This wedding quest is involved with two of the characters. So I'm just gonna give you a background of the story. I'm not gonna go into into detail because you might want to experience the quest line yourself. But there are two NPC in the game that will eventually marry each other, called Gwen and Karen. Now Karen is, let me see if I can pronounce his last name right. Karen Thackeray. Now these two will marry each other. After the marriage, they they have sons and daughters, and they have grandchildren and etc. And 200 years later, it will come to in Guild Wars 2. The name of one of the main NPC is called Logan Thackeray, and he's one of the main NPC for Guild Wars 2. Now this is in Guild Wars 1. So yeah, it's quite fun to do that quest, to be honest. And I'm not gonna spoil anything because there's a few events and dialogues that you might be interested in checking them out. So I'm not gonna be mentioning into this, obviously. And so to complete the one Kryta quest, they will reward you with one of the token that you can exchange for the oppressors. Now for the oppressors, you can farm. And so is this. And the same with that as well. But these two are easier to farm and buy. The Tormented one is very, very expensive. I will cover that in a bit. Now, the oppressor, you need to have a token. I can't remember the name of the token now. I will include it down in the description on the process of the token name and where the NPC is, so you can exchange them. But it has something to do with the confession orders. Just so you know that I have only complete the War in Kryta. I haven't uploaded yet at the time of filming this. I haven't fully uploaded the War in Kryta quest. So when you check out my video for for this kind of, for this quest, it would take, hopefully I can get it uploaded by mid of July. At the time of filming this is the 2nd of July, so I hope that I can get the video up and running either in mid of July or by latest is the end of July, because obviously this quest is quite long. This will be about, whoa, last time it took me nearly 10 hours. 10 hours to do. Because, you know, when I play the main story quest, I usually, you know, listen to every NPC and stuff like that, and I usually just, you know, look around of the stuff, look around the sightseeing, the environment, and etc. Because, you know, it's a role-playing game, so I prefer to check out other things as well, not just the storyline. I prefer to look at the detail of the little things, like the dialogue with the NPCs, and see what are they talking about. So, but I would definitely cut it down a little bit. So some of the unnecessary stuff that I think that wouldn't impact with the, that wouldn't have a huge impact to the quest, that then I will cut them out. So, you know, so you won't be missing out a lot of stuff. But that is only if they don't have a huge impact onto the quest itself. But if it does have a huge impact, then I will include it in the video. But yeah, it will take a while for me to upload it, you know, like say, I don't know, 5 hours videos, or maybe 3 hours or something like that. So it will take a while to upload it to, like, you know, 3 to 5 hours video. So please keep that in mind, that it will take a while for me to upload. So now back to the confession orders. Now this is one of the material that you need to exchange for the tokens, and like I said, I will include this in under the description, so you can have a look at it, the token itself, and what are the methods for you to get it. And if necessary, I will do a separate video that I talk about how to do it effectively and how to do it efficiently if necessary, because you know, I mean, like, people have, you know, different way of getting it. So, and besides, if you just want to have like 30 out 50 points, you just need to get like one of each. That's it. Well, if you have 2 or 3 characters, you may want to do this one more. You may want to complete the main quest about 2 more times, so you can push it one up to 5 points, so that, you know, you can reduce the amount of work that you have to do for the other monuments. But ideally, one of these, once you display one of these, it will, you know, it would tick that one up, and then if you get a professor, tick that one up, so you have 3 out of 8. Now if you put in another 2, say another destroyer or another oppressor, well, or 2 more destroyer or 2 more oppressors, you know, any combination of them, then you can push it to like 4 out of 8, and you know, that's like half already, and you can and it will reduce the amount of work you have to do for the other monuments, because sometimes the other monuments can be a little bit, you know, time consuming to get to a certain point. So yeah, I mean, like, it's up to you or what you want to do. But for 30 out of 50, I would recommend you just to get 1 destroyer and 1 oppressor and call it a day. But if you want to get a little bit more, fine. Yeah. All right. Now on to the tormented. Like I said in my earlier slides, the tormented is a very expensive weapon, and the reason for that is because you need to get it from the domain of anguish. The domain of anguish, like I said in my previous lines, is a elite zone that require a full completion of Nightfall campaign. Nightfall. Yeah, you get the idea. Nightfall campaign. And after that, you need to talk to the NPC, and the NPC will let you into the Gate of Anguish. And from the Gate of Anguish, you need to talk to another NPC, and that NPC will give you a quest on doing the Domain of Anguish. Now, it doesn't stop there. For you to be able to get a tormented weapon, you need to get a token called the Embrace. Yeah, Embrace. So not an S, not plural. Embrace. And one Embrace, it costs 33 ectoplasms. Currently, well, during April, that was the last time that I checked in 2015, which is at the time of filming this is the 2nd of July. So during April, which was the last time I checked it, that's like what, 3 months ago. I checked it around middle of April, and it costs about 30 to 33. But usually I've seen people asking for 33, but you can get it for a little bit cheaper. So let's just say that for the sake of discussion, it will be from 30 to 33 ectoplasms. And like I said, again, 1 ecto equal to, well, around 10 platinums. Yeah. And so that's 300 to 330, 330 platinums. Not cheap. They're not cheap. When you first started up to, when you just first starting up the game and you don't have a lot of materials, then 33 ectos cost quite a bit of money for you. But if you've been playing the game for so long, or if you have been playing the game in the past and you just got, just go back into the game, you may have some resources that you can sell for, I don't know, a decent amount of money. Then you can purchase it just to save you the time. But that is only if you play the game in the past. But if you haven't played the game in the past and you just, recently started up back, and yes, it will cost you about 30 to 33 ectoplasms. And I don't think it's worth it if you just want to have 30 out of 50, but that's just my personal opinion. For the 50 out of 50, then yeah, sure, you need at least one of those tormented weapons. And so for the 50 out of 50 points, I would direct you to the later slide, because obviously, in this slide, I just given you an overview, well, not an overview, a sort of like a detail on what you need to get to 30 out of 50. But if you want to achieve 50 out of 50, then I'll direct you to the later slide, which I have for in a separate video that I talk about how you can get to from 30 to 50 points, as well as getting your God working amongst mortal. And so, all right. So that concludes the information that I can give you for the Valor monument. So I will flip to the video that I show you where you can get the destroyer material, because I think that it deserves an attachment into this slide, into this video slide, and so you know where to get it. And for the oppressor weapon, I would include a link down in the description, because the oppressor weapon is a long quest change. That's like I said earlier, that's about like 3 to 5 hours video, but I did it in about 10 hours or so. But I will cut it out. Obviously I will cut it out to reduce the time that because obviously you don't want to watch me doing like just blocking around in the city, checking out the NPC and dialogue and stuff. Some of them are not, they don't have a huge impact into the game, but if they do have an impact in the game, then yeah, sure, I will include that into the video. But if they're not, then I'll cut it out and reduce the video time frame. And so for the oppressor weapon, I'll include it in the video, in a separate video, and also the link down in the description, so you can have a look at it. And just before I go, I will clear this one up. And yes, this is for the Valor weapon component. This is this link will be the list of all of the Valor weapon components in a game, and that would directly you to the Wikipedia from Guild Wars 1, so you can have a look at it and prepare yourself which material that you should be saving for, and it will have you have an idea on how much each of them would cost you to get one of the weapons. So yeah, I will stop here and I will refer you to the video that I come to the Duncan the Black to get the to exchange for the destroyer weapon, and then afterward I'll refer you to another slide. So alright, I'll see you in my next slide for my other tips. See ya. Okay, so for this one, it will be just a short video to show you where you can get to the Slaver Exile, and also just please be aware of the this is the dungeon that I usually use the term Duncan the Black, because the final boss of the dungeon is, his name is Duncan the Black, and Slaver Exile I don't usually that term a lot, because when we go inside, the objective that for the most of us is to kill Duncan the Black, so we use that term interchangeably, but it means the same thing. And yeah, alright, and sometimes I forget the proper name for Slaver Exile, but just please be aware that you need to have enough materials before you go in, because there won't be any like chests or anything like that inside the dungeon. So you have to make sure that you have enough materials before that you can go in and then start buying off the weapons from one of the NPCs inside that dungeon. And also, if you haven't completed the Eye of the North campaign, you won't be able to get it. Yeah, you need to have the access. You need to complete the entire campaign of Eye of the North to gain the access into the Slaver Exile dungeon. So just please keep that in mind. And I'm pretty sure that if you have someone that already complete the entire Eye of the North campaign, that person can guide you in. But I'm not 100% sure on that. So you can try, and if you can, just let me know in the comment, and if not, then yeah, just also let me know in the comment, because I'm pretty sure that you can go in with someone that already complete the campaign, because when you're in a party with someone, and if that person already complete the campaign, right, so he has the access to the dungeon. So what he's gonna do is that he's gonna go in first, and when he goes in first, he will drag the entire party inside the dungeon with him, and the system will allow that. So I'm not 100% sure if that would work for you too if you haven't completed the Eye of the North campaign. So that's something that I'm not entirely sure, and you have to check it with your friends. Alright, so is there anything else I want to go over? Just might as well give you a little bit of information about Duncan the Black dungeon. It is one of the hardest, and I wouldn't do it on a regular basis. No, I did it just so that I can get the Mastery of the North, which many of you know that I'm working on my God working amongst mortal, and because of that I'm working on that title. I need to max one of the Eye of the North title, which is this one right here. At the moment I'm sitting on 771, but once I achieve 1000 points, which is the maximum that I can go for, then I will receive the legendary Master of the North. Yeah, and oh, okay, so that's only required 500. All right. Yeah, because in one of my videos that I was mentioning earlier that you need to complete at least about 750, but it turns out that you only need to complete 500,000 points for you to display this onto your monument. So I'll update it. I'm not gonna do the video again, but I will update it on the notations. Alright, so this is the location for the Slaver Exile or Duncan the Black. And when you go in, there will be several floors for you, and those floors are quite long, and this dungeon is not, you know, it cannot be done in one go. Sometimes it can be done in one go, but you have to know the dungeon itself and etc. So the first floor, I wouldn't call this the first floor, but the initial floors, there are 3 floors before the final one. Duncan the Black is the final boss, and also in the final floor. This one is quite long. This floor, it took me about like an hour and a half, or nearly 2 hours to complete, because this is only one floor, but there are 2 bosses inside this floor, so there are 2. So yeah, there's pretty much like 2 floors combined into one. And this one took me about like an hour, and the same with this, about 40-50 minutes for this one. And once you complete the 3 initial floors, you can go into the Duncan the Black and finish him off. But a lot of people, when they complete the 3 floors, they go back to the outpost, and then when they go back to the outpost, they change their skill sets, because there's a specific skill set that you can use for this final floor. And a lot of people just go back to the outpost and change their gear, change their attribute, change their skill set, so that it will be easier for you to do when you reach the Duncan the Black. So that's why I'm saying that it's not very common. It's not very common for people to do it in one go. They usually do 3 of them, go back to the outpost, change their equipment, change their builds, and then go back and finish off the Duncan the Black. And the dungeon is located in the south, a little bit on the southwest of the Norn territory, and this is the starting zone of the Eye of the North. You go up, you go up, do the finish off the initial quest for the Eye of the North to activate the 3 main quests: the Norn, the Asura, and the Ebon vanguard. And then you go up and you finish off the Gunner Holes, one of the quests in there. And then once you finish one of the quests in there, it will activate for you to go into this location, this outpost. Once you have the access to this outpost, you make your way through to the end. And once you make your way through to the end, go here. And once you go here, you have the access to the Asura. Yeah, it will activate the access for you to go to this location right here, Flocks. And from Blocks, you can go to the Rata Shop, and the Rata Shop is the main outpost for the Asura. Alright. And
what is your business?
This is the NPC that's selling you the destroyer weapons and shield. So in summary, you would need 250 slabs, 100 of the iron ingots, 10 onyx gemstones, and also 10 diamonds, and obviously 5 platinums extra. Alright, it's a little bit expensive when you just start up, but once you have done a lot of dungeons, and when you complete all of the campaigns, you have a decent income and also materials for you to craft one of these. And if you're just aiming for 30 out of 50 points, you just need one of these. But if you're aiming for, then you might be spending, you might be buying 2 or 3 more or 5 more, I don't know, up to you. And I already explained it in my slide, so yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I will see you later then.